Oh my god. I really want to do this, but I have to anyway. I did a review on the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and now for my Rant series, I have to do something native for once, which I usually do anyway. So, yeah. This is going to be a rant on one of the biggest and worst animated films ever made, and one of the biggest disasters in animation history. Cue the intro. Hello, Coward Pixar, just quick to hear. And today, it's finally time for me to do a rant on a film that I've always wanted to rant on for quite a while. And that is none other than Foodfight. One of the biggest and baddest cartoon motion picture disasters in history. So basically the plot so Foodfight came out in 2012, the same year as Brave, The Avengers, Madagascar 3, Europe's Most Wanted, Rise of the Guardians, Wreck-It Ralph, and Hotel Transylvania, and the Pirates in Adventure of Scientists. So, also the Lorax. So, here's the plot. It takes place in Marketopolis supermarket. Our serial mascot, Dexter Detective, and his girlfriend, Sunshine Goodness, on a lovely date, and then he proposes to her, and then, well, you see, I haven't really seen this film for quite a while. I'm going to try and remember the plot. So, and also, yeah, and it's an evil guy named Brand X, and so it's up to Dexter Detective and Sunshine Goodness, team up with a few other characters I've got the names of, and to stop Brand X, and that's the plot is. Good lord, I gotta say, this has to be one of the biggest and disasters ever in animation history. I'm not taking this movie too extreme, but I'm just saying, and we all know how bad this film is anyway. So, yeah, it's one of the worst animated films alongside the Emoji Movie and Sausage Party, Cars 2, Planes, and even the 2025 Smurfs film, which, anyways, for this, let's get to this, shall we? So, when humans first created animated moving pictures so long ago, did they ever think that such a poorly animated disaster could exist? And and I don't really know, to be honest. And so so the film was supposed to be made around 2002, but then the concept art and the files and the script got stolen by somebody else, and then we never saw any footage of the film, but merchandise was made before the film was released, which is kind of a common thing, because before Minions 2 as a group was released, it was originally set to come out in that film was set to come out in 2020, but then due to coronavirus, it got delayed till 2021 and then 2022. But merchandise is still made for the film. And even then the film was brought back and then released in 2012 in cinemas and then straight to DVD. And what do you know? It turned out to be the worst animated film ever made. No joke. And this film is a rip-off to various other animated films like Cloudy with Chunky Meatballs and Over the Hedge, which both of those films are way better. And when you look at the cover for the film, it is literally a carbon copy of Over the Hedge. And there's even there's this Foodfight from the sky, but it's also a rip-off too. This was a copy of Cloudy with Chunky Meatballs. So let's get to the characters. So we've got Dexter Detective, who's an Indiana Jones like dog detective. Honestly, he was absolutely terrible. Got Sunshine Goodness, which she's a bit of Sam Sparks sometimes meatballs. And we've got Lady X, who's absolutely creepy. Oh, and also Brand X, he's more creepier. Yeah. I could never understand a world where this thing exists. And it's possibly... There's also other worst animated films as well. We've got Number North, which I'll probably do about that soon at one point. And the poster uses and the film itself uses copyrighted advert mascots like the raisins and the Twinkies and the dolphin. I don't know what their names are, but someone let me know in the comments, please. So, the animation, oh my god. We all know the animation style. It's really, 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 really bad. Very bad CGI. No effort put into it. Just like very creepy and stiff movement for CGI characters. It is just, oh god. No offense, but I'm really sure the creators behind the film could make better animation than that. No offense. But yeah. But other CGI films have better CGI animation than this. Even if the film itself is bad. Like, for one example, the Emoji Movie, well, despite the animation like on the characters is kind of creepy, it's slightly good in some ways because how nicely detailed it looked compared to this. And even animation in what? Oh yeah, Planes. Even though it was the Cars spin-off film, even though it was slightly choppy, but it was still nicely done to look at. Yeah, but some of these bad films, they have redeeming qualities to them. And it's actually yeah. Also, that's also the Cars 2. I studied that film, but it's got some nice animation compared to this. You know, they seriously could have put a little bit of effort into this, but no, they couldn't. So, so yeah, that was my rant on Foodfight, aka the biggest disaster of cartoon motion pictures. That's what I call it. I repeat, Foodfight, the biggest disaster in cartoon motion picture history. Yeah. So, if you haven't seen it yet, then, well, I wouldn't say stay away from it, because it's not really a thing I'd say. I'd say probably like, don't watch it or anything like that. I mean, if you're interested in watching it, then that's fine. But if you don't plan to, then don't. Because it's really terrible. Yeah. Can't believe some guy stole this film. Stole concept arts and all that. That was quite illegal of him to do. So anyways, guys, I'm going to rant on Foodfight. So, bye everyone!